So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The idea behind this lecture series is that we want you to develop this habit of practicing MCQs on a daily basis. You should develop this habit. It's a very useful habit because through this habit, you not only get to revise your current affairs, which is very important, you also get the much needed MCQ practice, which will come in really handy for you. If you make it a daily habit of yours, it would come in really handy for you whenever you appear for stage 1 of civil services examination, that is prelims. So make this a daily habit of yours through this lecture series. Okay, so let's begin today's discussion with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding role of women in Indian military. Military for women was opened up in 1888 with the establishment of military nursing service. Women Special Entry Scheme was introduced in 1992 to induct women in select combat streams as short service commission officers. Permanent commission remained out of reach for women in Indian Army until 2008. Okay, so the first ever induction of women in Indian Army was done in British times in 1888 when you required females for nursing services. So that's why the British established military nursing service. Okay, because you required nursing services in military. So this is correct. But later on, well, you added more and more roles for females, not just medical role, but educational role, many other non-combat roles. So in 1992, Women's Special Entry Scheme was introduced to induct women in select non-combat roles. Remember, women were not allowed combat roles, only non-combat roles like doctors, lawyers, okay, and for military tribunal you require lawyers and many other roles. Clear? But women were allowed only for short service commission. Okay, there are two types of officers commissioned in the Indian Armed Forces: permanent commission, short service commission. Short service commission have short service, as the name suggests, generally 14 years. Okay, permanent commission, well, they serve till their retirement. Clear? Now, women were not allowed permanent commission even in 1992, even through this Women's Special Entry Scheme. So, yes, short service commission part is correct, but they were not allowed in combat streams. Okay, so this part is false. Yes, permanent commission was allowed to women in 2008 when certain lawyers who are inducted in Indian Armed Forces, women lawyers who were short service commissioned officers, they were allowed to apply for permanent commission. So permanent commission was opened up for females in 2008, and in 2021 combat roles were also opened up for females, and we see the results. Recently 148th batch of National Defence Academy has graduated, and in that batch many women cadets which would be inducted into combat roles in Army, Air Force and Navy were there. Okay, so this induction of women in combat roles in Indian Army came out of a Supreme Court judgment in 2021. Okay, so yeah, only two statements are correct. The answer is A. Question number 2. Which of the following is our correct regarding draft guidelines for gold loans by RBI? RBI recently released draft guidelines for gold loans. Loan to value ratio has been capped at 75% as per the new guidelines. On gold collateral, the borrowers must declare ownership or furnish original purchase bills. Gold loans only allowed against gold jewelry and bank issued coins as collateral. Okay. So you all must be familiar with gold loans. What are gold loans? Basically, these are loans taken from banks or NBFCs. I'm talking about formal institutions. Well, people go to money lenders also. But gold loans are also provided by banks and NBFCs. And these gold loans are provided by keeping gold as collateral. So you keep your gold jewelry as collateral, okay, and then receive a loan. Clear? These are gold loans. Now, recently RBI released draft guidelines for this. And in those draft guidelines, they capped the loan to value ratio. Okay. So if you have put 1 lakh worth of gold as collateral, you will receive loan to the maximum amount of 75,000. Okay, only 75% of your collateral value. So this is correct. Okay, now one more thing RBI has said. Not everything in gold can be put as collateral. Only gold jewelry or bank issued gold coins can be kept as collateral. Okay, no gold bars, gold biscuits can be kept as collateral. Okay, so this is also correct. Plus, when you keep your gold as collateral, you have to show your ownership details also, that you own that gold. Earlier that was not allowed. Okay, so people who have gold jewelry in their family for generations, okay, for generations, they don't have receipts for that, ownership receipts for that. So they earlier also used to keep that gold as collateral and receive loans, but now they won't be able to do so because they won't be able to produce ownership details. Okay, so this is also correct. All statements are correct. This is as per the new draft guidelines, but remember, these are just draft guidelines, they are not final guidelines. Okay, question 3. Yeah, so question 2, answer is D. Question 3. Consider the following statements regarding Palamau Tiger Reserve. It is one of the original 9 project tiger reserves in India established in 1974. It is the only tiger reserve in Bihar. It is the site for world's first pugmark-based tiger census led by J.W. Nicholson. The vegetation in this tiger reserve is tropical semi-evergreen forests. Okay. So look, Palamau Tiger Reserve was one of the first 9 tiger reserves that were established under Project Tiger. So Project Tiger was launched to protect tigers, right? And for that, the idea of tiger reserves was floated. Okay. So in the early years of Project Tiger, 9 tiger reserves were formed. Palamau Tiger Reserve is one of them. So it is one of the oldest tiger reserves in India. Okay, this is correct. Now Palamau Tiger Reserve is the only tiger reserve of its state, but that state is Jharkhand, not Bihar. Okay, so this is false. Now, it is a special tiger reserve because even before it was declared a tiger reserve during British times, well, the British conducted a census in this area, and it was the first pugmark. Pugmark is basically the footsteps on the soil of tigers, footsteps of tigers. Okay, feet of tiger are known as pugs. Okay, or the marks are known as pugs. So pugmark based tiger census was conducted in 1932 by J.W. Nicholson. So he gave a elaborate methodology of how to count the number of tigers based on their footmarks. Okay, so this is correct. Now the vegetation in this Palamau Tiger Reserve is, well, deciduous forest, not semi-evergreen forest, dry deciduous forest. So this is false. The answer is 1 and 3 only. And last, which of the following statements are correct regarding tiger safaris in India? There are 2 types of tiger safaris, captive and wild. In India, these are governed by Wildlife Protection Act and National Tiger Conservation Authority guidelines. Tiger safaris must be inside buffer area of tiger reserves. Okay. Now look, what are tiger safaris? We all know tiger safaris are for tourism, where tourists are mounted on a jeep and are taken through an area where they can spot tigers, click pictures and all. Clear? Now there are 2 types of tiger safaris. Captive, so zoo tigers, tigers who are kept in zoos, are left open in a confined area, natural area. Okay, and they roam around in this confined natural area. These zoo tigers, highly trained tigers, and tourists are mounted on a jeep and they are basically they travel through that area seeing tigers. Okay, this is captive. So the tigers in this area are captive. Okay, this is captive tiger safari. The wild tiger safari is in which you go in an actual forest area. Okay, in actual forest area, forest officials take you through these safaris. Now in wild tiger safaris, spotting of tigers can be rare. Okay, because these are wild tigers, you don't control them. So sometimes they appear, sometimes they don't. So sometimes tourists are satisfied, sometimes they aren't. But in captive tiger safaris, you are guaranteed a tiger sighting. Nonetheless, there are 2 types of tiger safaris. Now, tiger safaris in India are governed by Wildlife Protection Act, National Tiger Conservation Authority guidelines, plus some guidelines of Central Zoo Authority also. Okay, so this is also correct. Now, as far as tiger reserves are concerned, well, tiger reserves are designed in such a way that they have a core area, Okay, in this core area, no human activity is allowed. Tigers are allowed free roaming. Okay, no human activities in this core area of a tiger reserve. Then there is a buffer area. In this buffer area, limited human activity is allowed. Okay, farming, forest dwelling, or some hunter-gatherer communities are allowed there. Okay, some forest produce collection activities are allowed there. Minor tourism activities are allowed there. Okay, and then there is the outside area. So every tiger reserve has a core area and a buffer area. Now, as per the judgment of Supreme Court in 2024, wild tiger safaris shall always be outside the buffer area and core area. Okay, so tiger safaris must be inside buffer area, no outside buffer and core area. So this is false. Answer is A, 1 and 2 only. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But I say this every time. It will add more value if you revise this lecture as well. And by revision, I mean spending another 5 to 10 minutes taking a look at written detailed solutions to these MCQs. Okay. Now, these solutions are provided in our notes, and these notes are shared on our Telegram channel. The link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section just below this video. Alright then. On that note, I'll be signing off with the promise of seeing you again with another set of MCQs. Thank you, everyone.